Oh, okay, guys. So let's look at this GCSE Edexcel exam style question looking at nth terms of a linear sequence. Okay, so the first five terms of an arithmetic sequence or linear sequence are as follows: 1, 4, 7, 10, 13. Write an expression in terms of n for the nth term of this sequence. Well, from 1 to 4, I'm adding 3. From 4 to 7, I'm adding 3. 4 to 7, sorry. From 7 to 10, I'm adding 3. And from 10 to 13, I'm adding 3. Okay, so each time I'm adding on 3, so it's following the 3 times tables, hence I'll put 3n. Now I'm going to work out the first term, okay, and work out the difference, okay. Well, when n is equal to 1, I'm going to have 3 lots of 1, which is just 3, so 3 times 1 is 3, but I want the number 1 as my first term, so I'm going to subtract 2 to get 1. So I'm going to minus 2 from there to go from the 3 times table to this times table, which follows the 3 times table, okay, but minus 2. So the answer is 3n minus 2 or minus 2 plus 3n, okay? Either convention is appropriate, okay? They both mean the exact same thing, okay? This is what I call my nth term, okay? And I can use an nth term to work out any value or in my sequence. So if I'm looking for like the 50th term, I would sub in n equals 50, okay? So 3 lots of 50 is 150, and then minus 2 is 148. So a part B may say to you, work out the 46th term, or the 50th term, or the 90th term. Okay, a part C may also say, does this number lie in the sequence? If it asks that in the exam, then you equate your expression for your nth term, so you equate it to that number, you solve for n. If n is an integer, then it is in that sequence, okay? Because remember, n is the nth term, so n is which term it is. Is it your first term, your second term, your third term, your fourth term? Okay, the letter n cannot be a fraction or a decimal number. Okay, it has to be a whole number, an integer. Okay, so if that expression equals that number and you solve the equation. So for example, what I mean is, so let's say, I don't know, it asks you, does 96 lie in this sequence, like as like a part C? You'd say, okay, well, does 3n minus 2 okay equal 96? So if I solve for n, okay, I'm going to add 2 to both sides, so I'm balancing the equation. I'm doing the inverse operation, so I'm balancing the equation respectively. I get 3n is equal to 98. Okay, dividing both sides by 3, okay, I'm going to get n is equal to 98 thirds. Well, 98 thirds, gives you a decimal answer, because 99 thirds, okay, would give you 33. So 98 thirds, 98 divided by 3 will not give you a whole number, okay? That would imply that 96 does not lie in my sequence, okay? So if it asks you that in the exam, make sure that you equate your expression to the number and then you solve the equation. If it asks for, does this number appear in this sequence, okay? If n is an integer, then yes, it does appear in the sequence. If n is not an integer, then it doesn't appear, okay? So sorry for actually waffling on there. Okay, this one here is higher tier, explicitly rearranging formulas or formulae or formulae, okay, where the subject appears twice. Okay, so rearrange y is equal to 5x plus 9 all over x to make x the subject. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to multiply both sides here of my formula or equation by x. So I'm going to have xy, okay, is equal to 5x plus 9. Okay, I'm going to subtract 5x on both sides because I want to try and get all my x terms together, okay, and all my non-x terms here on the other side, okay? So I'm going to have xy minus 5x is equal to 9, and it will become clear in a second as to why I've done this, okay? Equals 9. I can now factor out an x, so I'm going to have x lots of, so x lots of y minus 5, okay, is equal to the number 9, okay, dividing both sides of my equation or my formula or formulae by y minus 5, that will isolate and get x by itself, okay? So this is always the method that you would do in the exam if the subject appears twice. And what do I mean by that? If that letter appears here on like the top and bottom of your fraction here, and there's no way of like separating it out, you would like follow this method. So you'd have x is equal to 9 all divided by y subtract 5. So y minus 5. Okay, and that would be your final answer. So x is equal to 9 over y minus 5. For that, okay? And that'd be the answer for that question, okay? So yeah, so this one here is higher tier explicitly, and it's looking at rearranging formulas or formulae, okay, where the subject appears twice, okay? The one here that is obviously a bit lower level here, if it's like in the form like y is equal to like mx plus c, let's say, and it asks for like, yeah, like x to be the subject, yeah, obviously that's a bit more, not easier here, but so like these sort of questions here would like appear on like a foundation here if it's to like work out what x is, okay? You would obviously subtract c and then divide by m, okay, to work out what x is, okay? But this one here is higher tier only, okay? Whereas the other rearranging formulas here obviously are like the crossover topics, okay? So this one's higher tier, okay? Yeah, and the first question here, the nth term, that's again a crossover topic for higher foundation here for nth term, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, that's the end of today's video, guys. Hopefully you find it useful. Okay, if you did, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on my social media platforms, and I'll see you inside the next video. Okay, bye for now. Take care. All the best, guys. See you soon.